Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie. This is a special crossover episode, CD Junkie and New For You. Now in CD Junkie, I go through a band's CD catalog and I tell you a little bit about the band and the music. On New For You, I introduce you to a new album and play some sound bites from that album. Well, on this episode, I am going to introduce you to the band CD catalog, and I'm going to feature music at the end of this episode. Now, the band I'm going to focus on is a San Diego band by the name of the MODLINS. Now, I'm kind of embarrassed here because this band has existed for 13, 14 years, and I never knew of their existence until just about 2-3 weeks ago. And I instantly fell in love with what I heard, and I am going to tell you about each of the albums. I'm going to tell you about what they sound like, and then you're going to get to hear it with your own ears at the end of this episode. Now, let me tell you, I'm going by the copyrights on these albums. I'm hoping they're the actual year of release. But 2007 is Here's to Being Happy. Great artwork, first off. And I love the discs because all of them look like little records like that. Anyway, what does the band sound like? Now imagine the sort of twee sound that was coming out on like Sarah Records in the late 80s into the 90s. It was very melodic, shambolic, but it wasn't this commercially produced pop. It was just real honest. And imagine that twee pop, mix it with a little bit of the early Shins, add in some indie pop, add in some lo-fi pop, and mix it all together, and you're going to get the MODLINS. Just a great, unique sound, actually. It's very unique because these guys definitely know how to write songs, but what they do is they don't really just write conventional pop songs. They'll throw different things into the mix. Maybe instead of a 4/4 beat, they'll have some weird kind of odd rhythm, or maybe they'll add some horns, or maybe some fuzz bass. And I think somewhere on one of these albums, I may have actually heard bagpipes. Not 100% sure, but it sure sounded like it. But anyway, this was from 2007. It's called Here's to Being Happy. This is also 2007. It's called With Friends Like These. Yet another vinyl-looking release there. Another great collection of songs. Every album is different. Now, these first two albums were more upbeat, more extroverted, filled with quirky, eccentric, eclectic pop songs. As I said, they take the pop formula and they sort of play with it a little bit, get a little experimental, but not too weird or too off the map. This album, Where Does It End, came out in 2009. And this is the point where they started maybe slowing things down. They started getting more atmospheric. They started experimenting more in the studio and creating soundscapes from legit pop songs. So some of the songs are very moody and very melancholic. And I admit, sometimes you may have to listen to a track 2 or 3 times to really understand, well, why did they change the rhythm here? Or why does the vocal sound like this here? But it's very interesting, a very unique approach. They definitely do things their own way. And the album titles really describe the sound of the album as well. Late Night Feel, this came out in 2010. And another great collection of songs, very moody. It does have literally a late night feel. It sounds like this is an album that you might want to climb into bed, put it underneath your pillow like people used to do with their transistor radios, and listen intently and try to capture the mood. Very unique because they can capture the mood of late night or the mood of loneliness. Very cool, very interesting. Still very indie and very creative. Also in 2010 was Shoot the Moon. Another great cover. Check that out. And like I said, the cover really helps to describe the type of music. It's coming from a real pure, honest place, but it's taken you into a whole little different world. Very, very cool. But this was 2010. Now, it seemed like they took a long break because the next album here is copyright 2018. It's called Can't Go Back. And yes, this album is very moody, and it does sound like you're floating in some kind of pop dream. It's really, gosh, do I even want to use the word delightful? Probably, yeah. So another fine collection of songs. And it's so weird because these guys have been around for so long, never heard of them. Probably a lot of you have, and you're all going, Schnee, I know them. The MODLINS? Hell yeah. And finally in my stack here, I have Out of the Darkness, also copyright 2018. Also looks like a little vinyl. Another great selection of songs. Now, what I've done is I've taken one song off of each album, and I've sampled about 30 seconds out of that song. I'm going to show you the album cover, and you're going to be able to listen to 30 seconds of that one song, and hopefully you're going to get an idea of what the band sounds like. So I'll see you in about 3 minutes on the other side of the music.
I've got a heart with a breakout, and now you're trying to find your way back to the memory, so you can get lost inside. Oh girl, step out of the shoes you wear. Oh girl, she won't miss me if I'm gone a little too long. She won't miss me 'cause times get hard. Another sad song for her to sing. Oh girl, you know that's just not true. Well, it seems like you don't hear anything but no. Well, it's light, lighter than air. I guess that's why it hits the ceiling when we talk on a tear towards what is really going on inside my head. Head for the window if you haven't had enough of life without me. If I was some other guy, I probably wouldn't mind. And I'm all but done for, I know. And I've all but read what I've sown. Bad dreams. Oh, I'm saying it's just let me go. Oh, I'm saying it's just let me go. Just let me go. I used to believe in traditional love. Yeah, the kind where you fall and you don't get up, and you promise that it will always be enough. So I never quit. Come what may, yeah, whatever happens till that day. Come what may, I'll be by your side. Come what may, yeah, and if the others walk away. Come what may, it's just you and I. Oh, my friend, you know what I always say. Whenever it comes to love, there's no telling why.
Well, that's it for this crossover episode of CD Junkie and New for You. I hope you like what you heard by the Modlins. They've got these CDs available. They're all available on their Bandcamp page. So I'm going to put the link in the description card so you can go directly to Bandcamp and you can listen and you could buy. There's also a digital album up there of rarities and unreleased tracks, and there might be a couple EPs up there as well. So definitely check those out. Definitely a band I recommend. I'm so glad to have discovered them, and I hope that you feel the same way. Anyway, I appreciate you watching this crossover CD Junkie New for You episode. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.